Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls video. They've actually made a move and have signed Bryce Alford on a training camp deal. 26 years old. This actually makes a little bit of sense once you piece it together. Basically, Alford played a backup role to Levine at UCLA in 2013-2014 before Zach left for the NBA. And then when Bryce was a senior, he shared the backcourt with Lonzo Ball in the season where they made the Sweet 16. So it definitely makes a little bit of sense given the past that they've had. However, he is 26 years old. He doesn't have too much NBA experience. In fact, he's never even played an NBA game necessarily before. He's only played in the G League, Summer League, that type of thing. Last 2 seasons, he actually played overseas in Europe, and he was killing it. He shot 45% from 3, became pretty much a known three-point shooter over there in Europe. So they're giving him one last shot. I don't think this will be the last move that the Bulls make. Essentially what they're doing right now is they're just kind of trying to figure out that last guy. They're going to play all of these younger guys. They're going to probably, my guess is, bench most of the starters, or at least severely limit them. Going to play a lot of guys like Bryce Alford, whoever else they pick up, a lot of their younger players, to see who's going to get that final roster spot. And unless Bryce Alford can come out and shoot lights out and really light it up, he's facing an uphill battle here. This is a really difficult position to be in. Like I said, he has never played in an official NBA game before. In his last year of college, he averaged about 15 points per game, shot 38% from deep. He also played on a couple of summer league teams, but then spent the last couple of years overseas. I'm rooting for Bryce. I hope that the Bulls actually continue to make more moves like this, because this is awesome. I mean, this is really cool given the background that Bryce has with Zach and Lonzo Ball. There's definitely room on the Bulls for another three-point shooter. In fact, I think you could make a strong argument that that's something that there's maybe not severely lacking, but especially you start to look at that bench. It would be nice to have just a sole three-point specialist. So I'm definitely rooting for Bryce. Uphill battle, 1 preseason game left. He's going to have to be extremely efficient, show Coach Billy Donovan he's doing everything right. But like I said, there's a spot for him. There could be a spot for him. The Bulls need another shooter, and it might be him. Let's take a look at some other players that they could target. So the first player we're going to talk about is actually Edmund Sumner. Now, I got this idea off of, I believe it was Fansided. I like Edmund Sumner. I think he would be a very good fit. Last season, he averaged 7.5 points per game, 1.8 rebounds, 0.9 assists, 0.6 steals, 40% from deep, 52.5% from the field, and then 82% from the free throw line. What makes Edmund a good fit, in my opinion, is just what he can bring, not only on the offensive end. Like, he's not a liability offensively. He can shoot the long ball. He can get to the rim. He can finish, but he can also play really solid defense. And to me, one of our weaker links just on the roster as a whole is Kobe White. And I know a lot of you guys do not want Kobe White to get traded, but here's the thing. There's a really very realistic chance Kobe White ends up getting traded, because if his playmaking hasn't significantly improved this offseason, and if his defense hasn't significantly improved this offseason, then really what he can be would be a shooting guard. And for me, Kobe White, they're going to have to pay him long-term soon. Like, eventually they're going to have to pay him long-term. I know it's not quite yet, but they're going to have to pay him, or else some other team is going to be down to pay him. I think a trade's going to be in the works. I think that AK is going to try and squeeze out any value they can get for a player like that they don't see a very long future with. I love Kobe White. 15 points per game is probably what he can give us off the bench every single night this season. but he's one of our best assets, and I'm not, he might just not be what AK is looking for. So if you go out and you were to trade Kobe White once he returns from injury and all that type of stuff, he's a very valuable asset. So you're going to get something nice in return. I don't know if it would be a backup point guard. Thankfully, the Chicago Bulls have Alex Caruso. So whether or not they stick with Kobe White and they were to go with Edmund or someone else, they'll be just fine, because Alex Caruso has shown us in this preseason, pretty much averaging like 5 assists per game, that he can facilitate, he can be the primary ball handler off the bench, and that we don't even really necessarily need a guy like Edmund Sumner. But I wouldn't mind another ball handler. I wouldn't mind another three-point shooter and another guy off the bench who can play solid on-ball defense. Edmund's also very athletic. I just don't think he really necessarily fit what the Indiana Pacers were looking for. Now, it's important to note that Edmund is not, it's not like he's a spot-up shooter and he's going to consistently hit 40% every season. I think it's a very good sign, very good sign that he shot 40% last season from three. Wouldn't necessarily call him a three-point shooter, or especially a sharpshooter, but the Bulls don't necessarily need three-point shooting if they're going to get it in return for Kobe White, or if some of these younger guys just step up. I mean, like I said, we have Zach LaVine, we have Lonzo Ball. They have three-point shooters, so you don't necessarily need to target it, but I think it's just extra sweetener, extra icing on the cake. And then given the fact that he's an athletic, very good defensive point guard, I think he fits him pretty well. So there's just another player that the Chicago Bulls could pick up for the last preseason game. I'm not saying go ahead, pick him up, sign him to a long-term contract, but what you can do is you can pick him up for that last for that last preseason game. Pick up other free agents, see what happens. If anyone breaks out, you never know. They might get another opportunity. You throw them on a two-way deal, and you see what happens, and you go from there. So let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know what you think about the Bryce signing. I really like that signing a lot. I'm excited for Friday. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button. Another rainy day here in Chicago, but let's aim for 100 likes on today's video. That's it for me. Peace.